Hyung Myung's girlfriend dumps him the moment she realizes this. He's a hopeless gaming addict, glued to his screen and losing at life. He rage quit his job and shut himself off from the world. No life outside Pangea, the game that makes Elden Ring look like a tutorial level. He gets his mind yeeted straight into another world. Nuked by the isekai gods and face-planted into a new world, collapses like a fainted Pikachu. Next thing he knows, he's jolted awake, getting the living daylights beaten out of him like a punching bag with a debt. His captors warned him they'd toss him to the High Dragon for lunch, but as Hyung Myung scans the room, he watches hundreds of fellow slaves driven by the crack of a whip. The stinging lashes said it all. He'd respawned straight into the game world. The hydrogen sealed the deal. Surveying the area, our guy pops open his status window with a single command. To his utter disbelief, a glowing blue screen flashes across his vision, showing off every stat, talent, and secret skill he's got under the hood. Hyung Myung stares in disbelief. He's actually made it. His stats break the usual cap, soaring past the standard limit of 10. But here's the real jaw-dropper. This guy's rocking 13 secret traits no one else even knows exist. Before he can react, the ground shakes beneath his feet. The slave masters are shaking in their boots. When they spot an actual army marching straight toward them, the Desert Queen breaks their truce, marching in with her ace, the infamous Snake Princess. He spots her, summoning her name in his thoughts. Her entrance launches the game's first major quest. The only goal, survive, or it's game over for both the character and the player's actual body. Hyun Myung's brain buffers hard when hundreds of slaves are on the move, cut down in a storm of arrows. He's only still standing thanks to a secret power nobody else knows about. Iron-Blooded Monarch mode activated, his body instantly cranked up to max-level physical talent. This lets him dodge burnout and level up his reflexes. With people dropping left and right, Hyun Myung moves fast. Survival's the only option. He snatches the blade and goes straight for him. The man rushing in, murder in his eyes, powered by his secret trait. He instantly unlocks sword mastery like he just downloaded the skill patch, and carves a brutal /right across the guy's back. He even strikes a pose just to show off. Second trait unlocked, Weapon Master. Has his back when the fight breaks out. He just spawned in, and the world's already lining up to jump him before the tutorial even loads. A guy lunges at him with a spear. Hyun Myung snaps his ankles like a pro baller, pulling off a killer crossover, and slices his opponent cleanly. It's his first time wielding this weapon, but thanks to his crack instincts, he handles it like a seasoned pro. Habibi bursts onto the scene, yelling and swinging his blade at our guy, but Hyun Myung just sidesteps like he's got cheat codes enabled. He just hit Ultra Instinct mode, and picks up every attack in the vicinity, all aimed straight at him. He's got reflexes so sharp, he moves before his brain even gets the memo, observing every arc of the enemy's blade. Hyun Myung unleashes his strike, running him through. He readies his axe for action, and just goes full send right there in real time. Absolutely floored, this guy's just been hit with another knockout blow. Hyun Myung gasps for breath. He's supposed to be a helpless slave, but the guards are losing their minds. This guy just steamrolled their fighters like he's auditioning for Monster of the Year. This is all thanks to a hidden trait, Masterful Hands. Leveling up, our boy can now master any weapon he touches. Instant adaptability unlocked. His new sword is leveling up at breakneck speed just from being in his hands, and his spear's racing to keep up. The real jaw-dropper? Most people dream of hitting level 10 weapon mastery, but Hyun Myung strolls in with a level 6 right out of the gate, already swinging his sword like a seasoned knight. He sliced through his opponents thanks to this one secret trait, though Hyun Myung knows it won't carry him for long. He's facing down an entire army, 500 soldiers, all locked on him. My guy's about to solo this insane mission like it's that scene where Goku and Vegeta take on a swarm of metal coolers. Just before this, we're in the Queen's throne room. She's floored when she hears their Demon World expedition flopped. Her eyes blaze crimson the moment she sees her. Lectures the Snake Princess. Her commander warns the princess, if they fail, it stains not just them, but all of Physomer, so failure isn't an option. The Snake Princess gets shipped off to the Kultman Desert, where she's tasked with wiping out every last expedition straggler, no exceptions. Their mission? Wipe out any trace that could reveal Physomer's hands-off flop. In short, they're desperate to hide the fact that these guys just took a massive L. If the Snake Princess pulls off this mission, the tyrant swears he'll break her curse. The word curse hits her like a gut punch, draining all the fight from her eyes. As the princess steps up to her next quest, she left with just one command ringing in her ears: don't fail. With that attitude, she marched straight into the expedition zone. Now we land in the present, with the Snake Princess getting a crash course straight from one of her own followers. That one slave, still clinging to life by a thread. She's floored. How did a single slave outlast an entire damn army? Time to dive headfirst into the chaos. Corpses fell and blood painted the ground. Hyun Myung stands tall, chin up and unshakable, crushed an entire army by himself. He dings level 2. Level up perks, his health and mana refill instantly, and all his fatigue vanishes like it never existed. Dude's built like a walking fortress. Whatever gym he's using, it's clearly above our pay grade. Arriving solo to the battlefield, the Snake Princess fixes her gaze on the slave, eyes glinting with cold intent. She's finally arrived. Hyun-myung can feel it. Isabella von der Zien herself. After poking around with his system, he discovers she's stuck here by the Desert Queen's curse. Basically, she can't leave. All her other stats are redacted because Hyun-myung's level is baby tier. But here's the kicker, she's level 8. No matter how busted his stats are, he's powerless against this woman. Nothing he does even makes a dent. Level 10 is the power ceiling in Pangania hit level 7, and you're already a certified beast. But once you break past that, the gap between players gets ridiculous. Think Gojo versus every other sorcerer in Jujutsu Kaisen. These top ranks are just playing a different game. Level 8 is basically top dog status. These guys are walking boss battles. He knows there's no way he can take her in a fair fight, but then he spots one tiny problem. The royal disaster package, the princess's curse. Isabella dismounts her beast, absolutely dead serious. She glares at him with pure hatred and announces, "You're not leaving here alive. Princess Thick Curves is out here menacing my guy's entire lifespan." He's questioning why he ever booted up this game. Pangenia's difficulty makes Elden Ring look like a tutorial level. Hyun-myung's basically a gooner, but for games not chasing villains, just obsessed with beating every new level he finds. Isabella lunges in, blade flashing. He charges at him like a runaway freight train. Smirking, he coolly asks if she wants help breaking the queen's curse. Isabella's sword freezes mid-swing, barely a breath away from slitting our boy's throat. Talk about a razor-thin escape. She's visibly rattled, his question hitting her harder than she expected. Isabella shoots him a look that says, "Who does this guy think he is?" Hyun-myung smoothly covers for himself, revealing he's a star-bearer, someone who guides ordinary people to the stars. He even throws in a bonus, lifting the queen's curse so Isabella can finally leave the region. Absolutely floored, the chick is left speechless by the offer, striking her with more impact than any breakup ever did. The thing is, Starbearer is basically the entry-level class every player needs to max out, but it's meant for ordinary NPCs, so truth is, he's not even a real Starbearer. But to break the curse, Isabella needs a blessing from one of these NPCs. With the curse turning her into a glorified servant, she's got nothing left to lose, so of course she jumps at his offer. The trembling princess is caught in an impossible choice. Turns out, Hyun-myung straight up built her from scratch. She's just one of his unlucky characters he never bothered to chase. From the player's view, the curse is basically a map lock. It keeps you trapped in one zone for the whole game. Every player's character is supposed to chase adventure and forge their own ending, but Isabella never even got the chance. Like a bird trapped in a cage, her freedom stolen by the curse. She finally speaks, asking him for his name. Renaming himself, he goes with Randolph. And just like that, his real username gets locked into the system. After a tense stare-down, the princess spins around, abandoning her plan to end him on the spot. At the same time, she chills him to the bone with a warning, get caught lying, and she'll rip him apart with her own hands. The villain orders her goons to roll out the red carpet for our guy, escorting him like he's VIP at an evil gala. And just like that, the opening survival quest is finally complete. He exhales in triumph, aces the test. Flawless victory. Racked up a trophy case's worth of awards. But it's so draining, it could power a blackout. His body crumples to the ground the moment the battle ends. Hyun-myung's still in shock he made it out of that mission alive, and racks up a whopping 220 points. Just like that. Next thing you know, our guy's getting whisked straight to the castle. Suddenly, he's living the 5-star spa life. Hydreigon's soul is infamous for dropping ridiculously early. Hyun-myung makes sure we don't forget it. And then there's the Sword of Mykola. Yep, Hyun-myung somehow snags both legendary artifacts in a single loot drop. But what truly blindsided him was snagging a shattered golden scale, a glitchy relic that blurs the line between reality and the game. His train of thought gets derailed by a swarm of snow bunny maids popping in, offering him a complimentary bath like it's a 5-star service. Hyun-myung isn't about to turn down a deal this good, so he goes all in and asks them to wash his feet too. Not exaggerating, we're literally getting toe cam angles out here. Isabella's personal maids arrive. Hyun-myung instantly clocks them as her loyalty testers, here to sniff out his true motives. A true star-bearer is completely unfazed by lust. He's out here waging an all-out war just to keep it down. But fate has other plans. Our fallen hero wakes up face to face with a dangerously generous cleavage. He freaks out so badly, he practically begs the status window to appear, anything to shield him from her chest. Hyun-myung suddenly has a breakthrough. A boundary between Pangenia and the real world is quietly taking shape. Looking at his flawless quest record, he unlocks a log out button. Pretty wild, right? But there's a catch. The game flashes a warning that his body will be a sitting duck the moment he logs out. Bro is honestly speechless, and I'm living for mint chocolate topping the charts. These two? His ride-or-die teammates in-game, turns out fate yanked them into this world alongside him. Hyun-myung is absolutely living for that logout button. Finally holding the ultimate escape ticket from this nightmare game, He instantly orders the maids out, flat out refusing their help. If Hyun Myung doesn't chat with the stars, his powers vanish, simple as that. One of the chambermaids turns bright red at the news. The maids slip out, leaving the room silent, ignoring him and moving on. Hyun Myon is stunned. His half-baked excuse just saved his skin. He steps out of the tub, hits log out like he's rage-quitting reality. Couldn't care less about the game total apathy, maxed out. The game tucks his character away in a cozy digital vault. If his character bites the dust, he's toast in real life too. Log out complete. Our boy wakes up right back in his own world. The world has gone full apocalypse mode. Destruction on every inch of the map. Cities are going up in flames as monsters rampage through the streets. Hyun-Ming gets the news and watches as a bus-sized praying mantis rampages through the streets. Paralyzed by fear, he collapses, coming to grips with the fact that game monsters have invaded reality. A golden shard glimmers beside him, the bridge connecting both worlds. Rewind the clock a few minutes. Logging out unleashes a tidal wave of memories, every in-game moment crashing through his mind all at once. Hyun Myung respawns in the land of the living, sweeping the area with a sharp, calculating gaze and wondering if this was just some twisted nightmare. He chuckles, teasing himself for acting like he's the main character in a web novel. His swagger vanishes the moment he spots that tiny gold fragment on his desk. Gripped by panic, he snatches it up, eyes wide in disbelief. If this thing found its way to his room, then everything he just experienced wasn't a dream. It's all terrifyingly real. The game itself? Yeah, it's been wiped from the website like it never existed. Hyun Myung absolutely nails it with his theory. Reality and the game world just got a hard reset. The barrier between them is gone. Panicking, he scrambles for a way out. His mind snaps to attention. If monsters made it here, that means the rest might be up for grabs too. Michaela's starter sword? It's no longer just gear. It's become a living legend in this world. As Hyun Myung conjures both at once. And the High Dragon Soul Satchel. Problem is, our guy has zero clue how to use it outside the game. Turns out double-clicking in real life doesn't activate OP loot. Recalling the system's info, Hyun Myung unlocks a new revelation. In real life, he's monster food, but in-game, he's the apex predator. The instant he triggers the fragment, bro fully syncs with Randolph's powers. He's fully synced with his game character. For the next 24 hours, he's living the role. Let's hit the streets once more. A desperate mother sprints for her life, clutching her frail daughter in her arms. They've already lost track of the husband, and things are about to get even worse. God drops a cosmic middle finger in the form of falling rubble, and if you're expecting a hero to swoop in, think again. The tiny girl makes it out alive, while her mother is brutally obliterated, Tokyo Ghoul style. Just then, a young woman bursts onto the scene to save them. She just wants to help the devastated mother, whose only wish is to keep her daughter safe. While this young woman holds Yoonji back, reeling from the loss, she's too wrapped up in the chaos to notice what's coming next. She never noticed the monster sneaking up behind her. She's about to become Monster Chow, when suddenly, our hero bursts onto the scene, cleaving the beast in two with a single, devastating sword strike. The man who just showed up isn't the miserable Hyun Myung. He's the powerhouse hero from his own game. Blitzes the monster, and shreds it into confetti. She's stunned speechless. How they pulled off surviving. All while questioning how this absolute gigachad even exists. Another mantis crashes in, lunging straight for our boy. She yells, "Behind you!" But that's nothing to stress over. A massive dragon swoops in and chomps the mantis like a crunchy snack. Remember High Dragon? That busted boss is now rolling with our boy Q, one of the story's absolute coolest moments. Hyun Myung vaults onto its head in one swift leap, while she's still trying to wrap her head around it. She can't even trust her own senses now. Meanwhile, Yoonji slips free on her own. She sprints to her mother's side. Hyun Myung carves through every monster that dares cross his path. The nine-headed dragon is absolutely wrecking everything in its path. The monsters didn't politely knock. They just crashed into our world like it was open season. Invading country after country beyond Korea, these monsters pushed humanity to the brink of extinction. But monsters weren't the only ones who showed up. Heroes started popping up too. Hyun Myung and a handful of gamers leveled up from keyboard warriors to real-life monster slayers, taking down beasts so tough, bullets just bounce off. Normal players stepped up, swearing to defend humanity. But the real problem? Even deadlier monsters were about to crash the party and flip the world upside down. Watching it all unfold from his living room, Massacre thinks these clowns are squandering their golden fragments. Now that the game is bleeding into reality, it's every player for themselves in a battle to survive. Whoever hoards the most fragments in this world will end up top dog, unstoppable and unmatched. Oh, and the rankings that hadn't budged in 2 years? Yeah, those just got shaken up too. Randolph is absolutely demolishing the competition, holding first place like it's reserved seating. Which raises the real question, could this guy actually be Phantom? Also known as Ghost, Hyun Myung's legendary character. He's the one who founded the first ever NPC expedition to the Demon Realm and the only player to ever reach the game's final stage. Despite his crushing defeat in the final battle, Phantom is still hailed as Pangania's unrivaled top player, no contest. He's got like 1% of faker swagger. Massacre thinks the player behind Phantom got yanked into the game the instant his expedition went sideways. Even if your gear and looks get wiped, you still keep all the perks from your last life. And that's exactly why Randolph spawns into this world stacked with every overpowered skill from his game character. But let's talk about our resident prodigy. He snaps awake in the tub, respawned, back in the grind, already sizing up this monster-infested reality. At least things are finally making sense now. Even Hyung Myung claims he almost beat the game with his last character, only to fumble right at the finish line. The only thing tripping him up? The mercenaries he hired and a few backstabbing NPCs. No matter how carefully he planned, betrayal was always on the menu, wrecking his progress every time. But here's the wild twist. Those very people could get summoned into the game world, just like he was. Haters were lurking from the start, jealous rivals who wanted Phantom to crash and burn. That's why they stabbed him in the back, and trust me, our boy knows those snakes are still out for his head. Now that the two worlds are crashing together, logging out isn't an escape hatch anymore. The only way our guy survives on either side is by powering up until nothing can touch him. And that drops us right into the princess's throne room. Still wondering if his conversations with the stars are truly over. He tells her he's done, he's here to keep his promise. Sure, here's a concise, engaging, and impactful rephrasing for narration, but he's got his own terms, just as Isabella waves the maids out. The Star Bearer speaks up about his terms, prompting Isabella to take him to the sanctuary, a request that catches her completely off guard. She straight up calls him crazy for even suggesting it. But our guy? He's already plotting his next move, snagging a class, and he's laser focused on the exact one he wants. He plays Isabella like a chess piece, expertly gaslighting her with tales of a star hidden in the sanctuary. Darkness falls. A woman strolls through a sea of blood-soaked bodies. She's the princess who's left a trail of bodies wherever she goes. Bringing up the rear, our guy's jaw drops as she wipes out an entire squad like it's nothing. If you need a partner for this mission, she's the dream pick. Let's roll back the clock a few hours. He just ordered her to escort him straight to the sanctuary. Isabella was stunned to discover a hidden star shining within the sanctuary. Hyun Myung kept things vague, only admitting he stumbled onto the fourth star by pure luck. He's the only one who knows exactly where it is. Leveraging that secret, he tells Isabella this is her one shot at breaking the curse. The princess protests, saying the sanctuary is off limits to most, but he points out that she alone holds the key. Playing on her desperation, he warns her this is her one shot to escape the desert, so she'd better not waste it. If Hyun Myung hadn't convinced her on the spot, he'd be the one face down like roadkill right now. They step onto the holy ground. The path opens into an underground labyrinth. As Hyun Myung and his companion descend, the system announces, the more they explore, the greater the rewards. But there's a catch. Hyun Myung's level isn't even high enough to qualify. Normally, demonic poison would flatten him, but one of his 13 hidden traits lets him shrug it off. Without this secret perk, he wouldn't have even made it inside. He's a level 2 newbie who shouldn't even be here, but Han Myung's master plan, let the princess blaze through the quest, mop up all the monsters, and he strolls in at the end to collect the rewards. It's not the side quests that get to him. What really matters is the main quest, unlocking a real class, no matter what it takes. He can't finish this quest until he claims victory, and he's gunning for a class that's anything but ordinary. The Snake Princess jolts upright, panic flashing in her eyes. She realizes they've gone the wrong way, and turns to leave, only for this man to block her path. Isabella suspects the Star Bearer is trolling her because that bridge ahead, obvious trap, one step, and the wind'll yeet them into next week. She can't believe he's falling for it. Honestly, she expected better. Until our boy whips out the ultimate move favored by keyboard warriors everywhere. Pure, unfiltered, internet-grade rage. Bait, no hesitation, no chill. Seething with rage, she hides her self-doubt behind a fiery facade. She shrugs it off like it's child's play, but our boy just keeps poking the bear. Isabella keeps complaining, so Hyun Myung just picks her up and carries her like it's the obvious solution. She's blindsided and mortified by the unexpected demand. Hyun Myung doesn't hesitate. He scoops her up without a second thought. After all, they've got seconds to vanish before the queen finds the pile of guards they just left behind. If they don't bolt now, the princess is doomed. So, it's run first, worry later. Crushed by humiliation, Baddie leaps onto his back. Wielding her at his side, Hyun Myung hits the ground running, straight in the wrong direction, blazing his own offbeat trail. Isabella erupts in terrified screams. But this lunatic dives in headfirst, no hesitation. That's when his secret mutant trait suddenly activates. He unlocks eyes sharper than a hawk on caffeine. That instantly analyzes hidden details in any environment. Hyun Young blazes down this unseen route, leaving the princess speechless with his hidden expertise. She's completely floored. How does a Star Bearer know this, when even the world's greatest scholars would be clueless? He fires back, playfully teasing her for being the real acrobatics chicken. He keeps teasing her, completely unfazed by the chaos, and it's driving her up the wall. He's not putting on an act. He greets her with the warmth of an old friend reunited after ages apart. Isabella cuts straight to the point. Have we met before? Calling out their supposed familiarity. Hyun Ma-young admits they've never crossed paths in the same place, even confessing he's seen her from afar, but she's never noticed him. Channeling the gate, both of them move on, and instantly warp to another realm. Hyun Ma-young senses a domain barrier and instantly recalls the danger heading his way. The cluster of boulders casually lounging nearby suddenly morph into a human right before our eyes. Erupting from the earth, stone golems blaze with crimson energy. These are the legendary guardians. Judging by the sheer size of that massive rune, our guy knows they're up against a boss so strong, one hit would pancake him on the spot. He playfully asks if Isabella's leg is holding up. After all, he's counting on her to back him up here. The stone guardians, big, bad, and high-level charged straight at them. With a fist crackling with energy, one of them launched forward, swings a punch at the ultimate boss. The snake princess flashes a sly grin, radiating pure confidence. And with a single fluid strike, he carves deeper into the golem than its own creator ever could, shatters its arm into pieces a dozen times in the blink of an eye. No cap, this princess is easily the coolest I've seen in ages. Isabella leaps off the rubble, promising our boy the fight will end in moments. She barrels straight at the guardian. She zeroes in on the rune and carves through it with a savage, sweeping slash. Meanwhile, Hyun Ma-young, our resident male wife, is floored. Isabella's not even a fighter, she's an assassin, but she's out here pulling moves straight out of Sung Jin-woo's playbook. After slicing through a small forest worth of enemies, she covers the golems in battle scars. They're obliterated by her furious blows, proof that a level 8 can hit like a boss. Battle's done, and the golem maker takes center stage. Instantly, our boy taps into it, leaving Hyun Ma-young stunned as he claims Isabella's kill as his own. In Pangania, summoners are unicorn rare, which makes Golem Maker an absolute top-tier class. It's a top-shelf skill, but our boy isn't here for handouts, so he just nopes out and turns it down. He's gunning for a class so overpowered it's in a league of its own, and the trial to claim it is up next. Black tendrils curl across the fields, shrouding everything in ominous darkness. From the earth rises a colossal mountain, towering like a stone fortress. This is the mark Hyun Ma-young's been hunting down. A cosmic guardian who shields the stars, a colossal serpent, and Dramut, the ancient king himself. Dramut radiates so much raw intimidation, the system just bans anyone under level 10, which, by the way, is as high as you can go from even trying. Can't even dream of defying it. This beast stands as the sanctuary's towering guardian, the mountain's own living shield. Isabella eyes our guy, wondering if this maniac actually expects her to waltz out and get stomped by the mountain guardian. Meanwhile, Hyun Ma-young keeps it cool, insisting the guardian's basically a gentle giant who never throws the first punch. That illusion shatters in seconds when the monster shows up. It lets out a deafening roar and launches its opening attack. It's pure nightmare fuel. The princess barely escaping the monster's opening strike by a hair. Hyun Ma-young's baffled. He swears this beast wasn't nearly this bloodthirsty. Meanwhile, the princess thinks his idea of friendly is straight up delusional. Before they can argue, the greater god steps in to address the challenger. Issuing the challenge, she tells him to take down the guardian if he wants to move forward, while Isabella, in peak comic timing, admits she never even tried the sanctuary herself. But it hits him. She's the maniac who's been turning his servants into confetti. The greater god, furious at her defiance, goes full kaiju and tries to obliterate her with a tail swipe. The princess dodges desperately, doing everything she can to evade each blow, then yells at Hyun Ma-young to finally come up with a plan. Now, our boy's tangled with this giant noodle monster before, but his memory's got more holes than Swiss cheese. Suddenly, it hits him. King Dramut isn't just ancient royalty, he's a cosmic behemoth, a god-tier guardian of the stars. According to legend, Dramut was once a mystical beast who gained divine wisdom straight from a star's essence. Last time our guy soloed this dungeon as Ghost, he was busy power leveling Wilhelm, his 5-star, level 10 carry. Surprisingly, the ancient serpent didn't attack. Instead, it just guided him straight to the sanctuary since he checked every box. Now here's the kicker, Dramut doesn't even bother with them. This greater god only picks fights with the weak, which leaves our boy stuck in a cosmic catch-22. Isabella is getting tossed like a rag doll. She's getting absolutely wrecked by the snake, still reeling from the sanctuary's poison that already drained her strength. It makes her question if following the star bear was one colossal mistake. The princess is seconds from disaster, crushed like a bug under a boot. Hyun Ma-young whips out his best Naruto impression and hits the beast with peak talk no jutsu. To everyone's shock, Dramut actually listens and slams the brakes on his rampage. Locks eyes with the absolute unit. Striking a divine pose, he's clueless how this ordinary guy uncovered his true name. Then our boy casually flexes by dropping his old name, Wilhelm, letting the big boss upstairs know he's back in the game. The moment those words hit his ears, Dramut pauses, his mind racing to make sense of what he just heard. The snake bursts out, wheezing with laughter. Honestly, this plan might just give it a heart attack and finish the job for us. Dramut roasts the wannabe Wilhelm, calling him out as a clueless poser, who doesn't even come close to Sentinel level. He's absolute garbage. Drummond can't believe this guy dares compare himself to Wilhelm the Top Dog, his own legendary mentor. Wilhelm botched the demonic Rome expedition, his stars shattered, and with that, his fate was sealed. But the ancient king is absolutely insulted that some nobody dares to invoke his master's name. He's 1 second away from turning our hero into a snack for his insolence. But this guy is just standing there, farming aura like it's his full-time job. Hyunmyoung coolly reminds the beast, remember our deal. Dramat's brain short-circuits. He has no clue how this guy even knows that. No one on Earth can ever find out about this. That contract? It's the real checkmate. Whoever claims the star gets the Mountain Guardian's true name and total control over the beast. The greater god must follow every order from their master, and if they spill the secrets of the contract, the player drops dead from the curse. No exceptions. Hyunmyoung's lucky memory kicks in, proving the game's rules are still live. The only thing keeping him from getting cursed to death is that he's ditched his Wilhelm identity and is now Randolph. The curious greater god demands, who are you, really? Hyunmyoung orders the beast to lead him to the star, determined to erase any lingering doubt. But the Mountain Guardian just laughs. This guy couldn't even pass the entrance exam for beginners. But Hyunmyoung, oozing reckless confidence, shrugs off the threat of death and doubles down on his Twitter tactics, rage-baiting the snake with shameless, no-guts bravado. The greater god chuckles at this fragile mortal one hit and he's toast. He can't help but wonder, where's this guy getting all that confidence? He spins around to point him straight to the spot. Drummond plans to wield the star as the final arbiter, judge, jury, and executioner all in one. Time skips. She's absolutely speechless. They step into a shadowy place, and she can't help but doubt if the star is actually here. He flashes her a confident grin and says, "Don't worry, I've got this." Turns out, the so-called star on the altar is just a big, dumb skull. Nothing cosmic, just pure bonehead. Isabella looks unimpressed, but Hyunmyoung points out, that's actually Leah's face. The realm's twin goddess died, her body shattering into 32 fragments that now shine as stars across the continent. They're the very catalysts that unlock transcendence. Now Hyunmyoung's got it locked and loaded in his hand. In a flash, a whirlwind of fire erupts around him, flames roaring skyward. Isabella's anxiety is written all over her face, while the greater god laughs, watching it all unfold, because he knew this was coming. No regular mortal can stroll up to a star without clearing the entry requirements. Even Dramat cheers for the human's demise. Hilariously, our boy's just chilling completely unfazed by the flames. Turns out, the star only nukes you if you try to cheat, and he's playing by the rules. Hyunmyoung outsmarts the ancient king with nothing but smooth talk, but landing his dream class? That's the real boss fight. Acquiring a star without a class usually forces a new class onto you, a wild move Hyunmyoung's never tried before. All 13 of his traits light up at once, a neon sign flashing every skill he mastered in his past, overpowered life. The star judges him worthy to face annihilation and bursts apart. Mana floods through Hyunmyoung, fusing with him in an instant. He just unlocked 2 shiny new abilities, Star Pierce and Blessing of the Stars. After transcending, the power of the stars fuses with him, forever crowning him as the star's successor. Isabella is stunned. She can't wrap her head around how this guy is casually absorbing an entire star like it's nothing. As the chaos settles, Hyunmyoung turns to the princess and asks, "So, what's your plan once the curse is broken?" The princess admits she's desperate to escape this miserable desert and track down her family's lost bloodline. Hyunmyoung agrees to lift her curse if she accepts his one condition. His only condition? She has to serve him for a year, no breaks, no loopholes. After that, they'll team up to find her family. Even after escaping, Isabella still flinches at the thought of the queen's fury. She's petrified at the thought of surrendering control to anyone else. But Hyunmyoung just grins and says, "I'm built different." His gesture says everything she needs to hear. The snake princess drops to her knees and pledges total devotion to her master. "Hold up, did that just happen?" Hyunmyoung nods in approval. She made the right call, and then whips around to Dramut, absolutely roasting the snake for ever doubting him. Karma's about to clock in, so buckle up. Hyunmyoung commands the noodle to bow before him, obedient as a snake, all thanks to his transcendence. Countless battle-hungry constellations are now eyeing Hyunmyoung's evolution with keen interest. Word of Isabella's betrayal hits the Desert Queen and she's absolutely floored, orders their capture on the spot. No hesitation, no mercy. Beyond these walls, the real world awaits. Whispers are swirling. Everyone thinks this mysterious new Randolph player must be Phantom in disguise. After all, nobody but a legend could outscore Gratia. Now that the 5-year legend is back in the game, the higher-ups are scrambling. They tried reaching out before, but he was a ghost, completely untraceable. Back then, he was just a bystander. Now, with the worlds fused and the game on easy mode, they're itching to lure him out hook, line, and sinker. If he wants to snag first place in Main Quest 3 again, he'll have to cough up a mountain of items. Everyone knows it's a loot sink. First up, fishing. It's a classic move in secret auction halls where players quietly trade gear. They list a high-grade item dirt cheap, then use a twin-link talisman to track the unsuspecting buyer straight to their doorstep. Newbies snap up that bargain bin auction item thinking they've just scored big, only to get hunted down and deleted by the same players who set the trap. The catch? They're up against Phantom, so you know he'll see right through this plan. This lunatic actually believes her plan's going to work. She's the ultimate fangirl, convinced this guy would stoop to swiping a cheap item at auction. This unhinged legend even floats the idea of kidnapping him IRL after doxing his info. The girl's obsession hits DEFCON 1. She's so unhinged, the two guys are literally dialing the cops to report her for stalking. Meanwhile, she's over the moon, fantasizing about what kind of legendary life this player must live classic celebrity stan energy, convinced their idol's world is flawless. Lurking in the background, Massacre checks the leaderboard. Randolph's still dominating stage 2. Massacre isn't just fishing for victims in-game, he's reeling in real-life players using the same bait-and-hook tactics. He can't help but wonder what kind of busted class let Randolph snag the top score again. Oh, and fun fact, this guy's a full-blown felon outside the fantasy world too. He's stacked up a body count just to leave a scratch on him. Climb the rankings. Cut back to our guy system pops up, 100% exploration, no sweat. With the Mountain Guardian's help, he just steamrolls the sanctuary. As a reward for clearing the side quest, Hein Myung scores a teleportation book, has all-access pass to instantly revisit any place he's already explored. All things considered, our boy walked away with some serious loot. The system instantly banks his fresh XP. Skyrocketing straight to level 3 in a single leap, he leaves ordinary characters in the dust, because with every new trait, the grind gets harder and each stage demands even more experience. While his stats are already off the charts, so he's crushing it compared to your average player. Hyun Ma-young eyes his new quest loot, curiosity burning. Just what did he score this time? He scored not one, but 2 ultra-rare drops. First up, the Shadow Cloak, a magical invisibility cape straight out of Hogwarts. Potterheads, you know the vibe. Ancient King Dramat senses tingle. Humans are approaching fast. He tells his master who's responsible. Now they've stormed the sanctuary. Isabella instantly recognizes them. These are the Desert Queen's pursuit squad. She asks about his next move, since not even the queen herself has dared to show up. She's convinced her squad will be such unstoppable monsters, not even the Mountain Guardian could slow them down. Hamyung just shrugs and tells her, relax, we're not even joining the brawl. The giant noodle's about to solo the whole squad. Both of them bolt from the scene, leaving poor Drama drenched in panic. As they sprint off, the invaders' screams echo behind them, proof that the ancient king has arrived. Isabella's conscience says, don't leave the snake behind. But our guy, he's chill. Unless the Desert Queen herself shows up, he's not worried. Stromet can solo the advance unit. This is their one shot at victory before the Queen's army closes in and crushes them. Bro just straight up admits he never ditched the big snake for being useless, leaving Isabella stunned. Plus, it's not like the Mountain Guardian can bail from the sanctuary anyway, so it's on them to make their getaway. Hyun Myung's plan? Hit the warp gate at the desert's edge and vanish from this wasteland for good. Because he broke Isabella's curse, they're in the clear. The gate? Yeah, it loads slower than Grandma's dial-up, leaving everyone stuck waiting. They've just pulled in, and the princess is practically vibrating with excitement to finally escape the desert. Hyun Ma-young casually drops the bomb. Oh, by the way, it lasts even longer now. You might think it's just a quick wait, but this cursed gate takes a full 12 hours to boot up. They're stranded in the open, nowhere to hide, easy prey for the pursuit squad. Dramut can stall them, but only for a little while. Until then, Hyun Ma-young's only option is to reach out to the star. He just wants to log out and see what's happening back in the real world. He looks her in the eye and says, trust me. She draws her sword and vows to defend him. Now that's true badassery. He rage quits the whole game. Wakes up in his bargain bin apartment. Logging out still feels weird, but he instantly snatches up his phone to scan the headlines. No new disaster alerts, so, for now, the monsters are keeping their distance. With two worlds smashing together, Han Man-young's running low on tricks to tip the odds in his favor. The real-world players worry him most, so he plans to keep checking in, just to make sure this place stays safe, too. A text alert hijacks his focus. It's Kim Seo-yeon. Next up, his ex is already on the phone, launching into a heated argument with someone. Broadcasting their drama to the entire restaurant, she shamelessly schemes for his wallet classic gold digger moves. Her new boyfriend hangs up. Abandoned and alone, Seo-yeon is hit with a harsh reminder of her own failures. They all write off Hyun Myung as a hopeless loser, pathetic, not worth a second glance. Still, she appreciated his obedience and almost wished she could stay a little longer. He shows up in person right after she texts him. Seo-yeon's gone from harsh words and cold shoulders to actually treating him kindly now. He sits, eyeing her warily, wondering what she's after. Seo-yeon seethes at his newfound arrogance. Determined to shatter his ego, she points out that he showed up right away with just a single invite, something she's always liked about him. Like the apex predator she is, she sidles up and purrs, I regret breaking up with you. Do you ever feel the same? Annoyed by that thought, our boy's patience starts to fray. She dragged him all the way here, and couldn't even spring for a drink. Chafing at her blatant disrespect, he stands up and heads for the door. Seoyeon, rattled as her ex-puppet slips from her grasp, scrambles to rein him in, still convinced the universe spins on her command. He's over her nonsense. Without missing a beat, he hits her with a question that drops like a grenade, testing if Seoyeon's new boyfriend even knows she's out here on a date with someone else. He exposes her for juggling multiple guys, something anyone could spot on her socials, and ThoughtSlayer69 promptly dumps her, sending her back to the streets. If he hadn't embraced his new persona, he'd be freaking out right now. Turns out Randolph's trademark resilience came bundled with him in this life. He's about to head out when, bam, he spots some jerk picking on a helpless kid. This lunatic's about to shank the poor girl in a blind rage. Hyun Myung swoops in, seizes his wrist, and halts the attack, saving the girl in a heartbeat. It's that same girl from before, making a comeback. Clenching his fist, our boy orders the punk to scram.
Lately, I've had a strong addiction to watching manhwa and manga recap videos. Every single day, I find myself binging one after another, losing hours and days doing absolutely nothing productive. And honestly, it's getting out of hand. So, maybe we can make these viral videos too. I mean, look at the views, the growth, the community these creators are building. It looks simple, right? But that's a trap. You go down this endless rabbit hole, spending money, losing sleep, hiring editors and writers from Fiverr and Upwork, and still feel like you've been robbed. Because don't forget how emotional the YouTube algorithm can be with making videos go viral. It's unpredictable, especially when the market's saturated, competition's relentless, and somehow other creators are dropping 10-hour videos daily while you're stuck trying to finish one. That's when I realized something had to change. So, I built the solution, the webtoon narrative suite, a complete one-click system that handles everything from cropping, script narration, text-to-speech, image processing, and full video generation in one smooth process. Save money, reduce hours of work, and have a tool that only gives you straight results. Click on the link down below and experience it for yourself. And if you want even more tools to supercharge your YouTube recap journey, visit my Ko-Fi and Patreon pages where I drop weekly new tools designed to keep you ahead as AI continues to steal our jobs. So tap in now before you get left behind.